brings me to the point. Because the suspect himself, after all the lies, lured this woman from Switzerland, lodged her in an hotel, took euro or 2,800 euro, changed it to pay for the hotel for about 2 weeks. But luckily enough, the woman went to the embassy to lay the complaint. And this thing was channeled through Ministry of, and through Attorney General's office, Ministry of Justice. And it was sent to us to look through Foreign Affairs. You see the collaboration, that's where I'm going. They first of all channeled their letter to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, from Foreign Affairs to the Ministry of Justice, from Ministry of Justice refer to us. So, and the same way we routed back all our reports and all those things. We were able to arrest him, seize his vehicle and all those things. At the end of the day, he was, and the boy was handed over to who complained to us. So the who complained to us, so what happened within the Attorney General's office? I'm not saying they didn't do the case. I'm not to say they actually went ahead, and we are able. So that's why I say we are doing a lot. And the typical example is that nobody works in it.
Yeah. We
work with them, they work with us, we work with the police. So everybody has their own level of expertise. So at that level, take collaboration. I makes it to become a seamless effort. Good. That's just
okay. I mean, as we generally just round off this session, I would just want to put a question to both of you. Same thing. The book identified in the early stages like the basis for the rise in cybercrime. First will be, even though you haven't read the book, but I don't know if you picked it from the review, but I want to hear, in your own opinion, from your own experiences separately, what do you attribute to be the reasons behind this wave? And what do you think are the things that can be done to stem this? So we'll start from you, Geoffrey.
Right,
and then
right. Thank you very much. I think this is very critical because every now and then I see it, and I'm worried myself with the growing trend of cybercrime, cyber fraud, precisely in Nigeria. In fact, as a matter of fact, one of the dilemmas I'm currently struggling with is this. Now, we have a report, there's a case which is forwarded to me as an individual to look at for an individual who has lost money, say 50 million pounds from UK. Okay, so the case is forwarded to me to analyze. In course of my analysis, I'm finding that the perpetrator of the act has more than 100 other persons he has collected money from, other than the particular person that is in view, for which the case has been reported to me. The question is, how do I address each of the individuals from whom this single individual has collected money from? Because it gives him the leverage to contact more than hundreds and thousands of people at the same time. And all of these persons can fall victim of his act at the same time. So how do you harness all of the evidence found from the respective individual, present them as a case, go through the judicial process, and be able to convict him on the basis of individual? Because once you don't address an individual matter, then the person cannot get restitution. Can't get the money. So for this case, a particular case, you collected money, you are convicted on that case, then you make restitution. On this case, the same thing and all that. Exactly. Action. So how do you address all of these things is one of the things that I'm also concerned about. Okay. But having said that, the thing is, socio-economic factor, basically, as addressed and mentioned in the book, is the main thing. I have done also a research, and the research have shown that a lot of Nigerians, young people, are not employed. So there's economic pressure on them. The very first boy I arrested in Ibadan and was convicted for 6 months imprisonment, I had pity, I had sympathy for him, because he was a child that was from a broken home. The father will come today to visit him, the mother will come from a different location to visit him, and the boy was in detention. So he basically was fending for himself. Mother couldn't do much, father wasn't really focused on him, and he was left alone. So he had to fend for himself. And the cheapest avenue he could resort to was to extort from, to other people. And this was the case, So there's quite a whole lot that would need to be done, in this direction. Having said that, if you don't mind,
it's okay.
I like to say that for economic reasons, secondly, from a personal point of view, the boys are saying that the politicians are leveraging on their political disposition to enjoy the national cake. They are leveraging on their intellectual capability to extort from those who are vulnerable. So it means that also our lawmakers, our politicians, also need to take consideration that they also, by virtue of their disposition, are becoming role model on the wrong side to the younger people. Thank you.
Let's get your take on this, Olanraju.
I'll speak like a layman, at the same time speak like a professional, but I'll be very brief because it's rounding up.
Yeah.
So as a layman, there's nothing we can do about cybercrime than to step up our efforts, fight it, because we are now in a digital world, electronic world, that everybody now has to do things on their target. And in view of that, you can stay anywhere to commit any crimes you want. And this issue does not relate to Nigeria alone, but because they do. But back home here, like he said, I don't have this belief. I think our respect for law will be stepped up. People don't, even those of us in this, how many of us obey common traffic lights? If I carry out a statistics here, maybe I cannot get 10%. I'm saying it authoritatively. It's what I've done. Every day I do it to see how many. But you will stop there.
Depending which lights
you
are
want to
working
make Nigeria better, stay there now. You see, it pains. We are lazy. One president I've ever said Nigerian youth are lazy. Yes, there is no job. During my days, there is no job. I left school, I fried akara to make money. I wore blue overall to ensure that I said everywhere. There are primary schools. During break, I targeted that time. That's when I fry my akara in my village and I hawk it in the schools and I make money before I got there. So that may be, just let us respect the law, rules of have a lot if we can be educated to. So professionally now, what are the challenges we have? I put some challenges here. Also, you see, there are threats in our technology.
Yeah.
What are the threats in the technology? That's what is affecting the bank. We have competent. I'll come back to the training you talk. We should make sure we step up our training gap to ensure that trainings are carried out. Data volume. How many of us are enjoying our network providers and the services they render to us? What is the major cause? It's just simple. A line that's supposed, the fiber that's supposed to take about maybe 10 lines, we are giving it to 100. So we have distortion. See, back to the law, not respecting the law. So if we are able to overcome all these challenges, we have limited resources, which have been talked of, that balancing security and privacy. Thank God, this gentle officer representing the officer. There is something in the Cybercrime Act of that 2024,
okay,
which says that every telecom organization should pay a certain percentage of. I don't think that law is being obeyed. After this regime, it was mentioned. Everybody was shouting, who. And if instead of them to pay, they will put it on me and you. Who is rendering the service? Say, we are increasing our tariff. What about the billions are making out of it? What tax are you paying? So that's as part. What are the benefits? As you said, I'll just read my note.
Round off now.
Yes, improve incident response. Are we even actually saying what is happening? Are we telling people that, oh, I'm being hacked? The moment you are being hacked, say switch up your phone, remove the SIM card. And the law enforcement agency who has this capability to help the public to address this situation, did they have enough trained staff? Did they have the capability by technology to do all these things? The answer is no. So, but it's still a benefit that tools are technology. So we have financial analysis. He was where we faced people who have taken our money, up where we take our money. At the banks, you tell banks, help me do this. The bank will even be the one who will lift up the information. The account will be traced.
Okay.
So these are the things. But we will be there.
These are certainly the issues. I would want to. They say power belongs to the people, right? So we would come right to the people, and we will quickly take some questions to them. I think we can extend it, even if it's beyond them, to the author. I'll use that. Permit me to use that discussion. But we'll take maybe about a question from this. So a maximum of 3 questions as we round up. We're already behind time. So, gentlemen, sir, let's start with you. Feel free to please help us identify yourself so that in case we need to trace your digital footprint, we can. I'm just kidding.
Yes, my name is Comrade Timothy Okonofe Marakbo. First, I want to thank my friend here who brought me here and the author of this book, because I've learned so much. But I have, there's a question, a contribution. Now, we are all saying no money, financial issues, training. But we have forgotten one thing. These boys, these criminals, who train them? They don't spend money to train themselves. So instead of looking for money to train your personnel, the ones you've arrested, these criminals, why don't you convert them to your staff? It will be cheaper. Thank you.
Okay. I think, you want to respond to that, or you want to ask questions? Huh? Oh, it's a question as well. Okay, so let's take that question so that we can do the response one time.
Well, my one is no question.
Okay.
It's just a contribution.
Okay.
And with kind permission of the authors, I think the main essence of our crime here is to launch the book.
Yes.
Not to be interrogated. And I'm speaking for my colleagues.
Yeah.
Not we are mentioned. Majority of us are 30. We are a bit careful of what we say. Be mindful of the fact that we have not even gotten the credentials of the people we're talking to. Am I correct? So it's very important when we're handling security issue, we should be security conscious at the same time. We must be mindful of the fact that even the venue, not even an authentic venue for us to be open.
Okay.
We hold seminars in many places where we ownership, person organizing it, really take the ownership of what we want to be, what we said, then as confidential, for the we are here. I want to sincerely say that security agencies have needed commitment, the needed interest, was to all of us to send representatives here. Great honor, I think we did to the author, kind respect we have for the subject matter.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So I would say while we take on the next question, and as you process what your response will be, we'll probably take it under food for thought. Is there any question on this side? Okay, I think in the absence of that, I'll just come to you two gentlemen, and I'll let you individually respond and your final remarks in just a minute or two.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
So you want us to address the question?
If you so desire.
Okay. Now, so it borders on ethical issues. You understand? So you ask, how come most of these boys are trained and all that? So I met a boy, and that boy spends nothing less than 8 to 9 hours on the computer. You understand? Because he has the motivation for doing what he's doing. And the motivation is that for him, this is his means of livelihood. So if you don't have as much motivation like he does, it's difficult for you to be able to spend same time doing what you're doing. Now, I'm engaged in a couple of things. For example, I'm here in this conference. I have a training currently running in an academy that I have left to be here because I had to be here today. So you see, I've got a lot of things that we are doing. So you're asking, why are we not spending that much time and all that and all that and all that? The budget for every organization is spread around a whole lot of things, which may not focus on just addressing a particular thing,
Okay.
solving a problem. So basically, the problem is ethical issues. He was involved with cybercrime. You now employ him to be working for you. What happens tomorrow if he becomes a threat to your internal system? Because, I mean, he has this tendency to make money out of the opportunity he has. So there's a possibility he could also do that.
Okay.
So that's it.
Dr. Lanraj.
Thank you so much. You asked a very good question. I was on secondment in one organization. We have this similar issue. I think that is first time I experienced the issue of this key logger. Somebody was using it to take a lot of it. We are of the opinion, based on my training outside the country, we are of the opinion, let's try this method you are talking about. But we regretted it. He has said something. What about the issue of integrity? You put it in place. What about people who are born criminal? There's nothing you do to them. I'll give you an example of an armed robber. If an armed robber is already a robber, not the one that just helped me carry my gun, no. There's nothing you do. Jail him, do whatever is coming back to it. We need to be careful. We have not gotten to that level yet. By our attitude, not by the government system. There is nothing wrong if you are intelligent. It happens other places. But have we reached that level? I think that should be taken as a policy issue. Yes, it's beyond us, but I think the author to put it in subsequent interaction with the people he relates with, he should be able to be selling this idea if he's going to. But for me, personally, I have the personal experience, I will say no to it. If you are so good, go and apply for job in any of these organizations. Show your talent, not by when you are a criminal, I catch you. The law says if I catch you, I should prosecute you. You are found guilty. Okay. So I hands off. Thank you so much. And
Thank
it is
you.
nice being here.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. And thank you very much for this. You can take your seats. Thank you.
you.
With your kind permission, I return back to this side that I'm more familiar with. I've been informed that as we round off, I would like to just crave your indulgence for the last item that we deal with to have a fellow of the Cyber Skills Bridge to just come and share with us for just 5 minutes a quick presentation. Mr. Danjuma, can we have, okay. Please help put your hands together.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm standing on the existing protocol. I am Blessing Bevan, and I'll be talking on the legal consequences versus the social perception. Why Nigerian students underestimate the risk of cybercrime. And then we'll try to understand the disconnect. I would like to begin this way. In one way or the other, we all have younger ones, directly or indirectly, probably relatives, nephews, nieces, and we have those who are in school. A good number of them, when they come back from school, after interacting with so many others who probably have better opportunities with parents who are high there in the social strata, gets to see that these persons use more sophisticated gadgets probably, or they get to come to school using their parents' cars. They also, wanting to make themselves proud or wanting to be high there in the social strata, would want to look for means to make it. Having in mind that when you leave school as a graduate from a Nigerian institution, there are no jobs. They get a quick means to make money and be up there. And they know that all they need is just their phones or the laptops. And then they get into this. And you find out that they come back with gadgets that are more expensive than they can afford or what their parents could give to them. And when you start asking, you find out that these individuals spend more hours on their computers or on their phones, and at the end of the day, they have swindled persons into giving them funds. Very surprising and amazing. In one way or the other, this is a cybercrime which has been committed by these individuals. Now, when we talk about crime, we talk about legal offenses. When talking about cybercrime, we talk about legal offenses which have been carried out with the use of either the computers or either the computer as the tool or the user of these gadgets as the victims. We have several of them. We have cyberbullying, identity theft, BEC, that is business email compromise, and so many others, which for the sake of time, we won't be able to delve into right now. From studies, we discovered that Nigeria is ranked the 19th country out of 112 countries which faces serious cybersecurity threats. Looking into this, we find out that most of the cyber criminals are youths, probably Nigerian students majorly. This has made the Nigerian government go into structures, that is the legal structure, the legal framework, as it was said, the Cybercrime Prevention and Prohibition Act of 2015, which is being amended currently. Despite this, SEC has come up to tell us that annually, Nigeria loses about $500 million to cybercrime. Then you begin to wonder if this law or this legal framework is actually taking effect. And that simply means that there is a high rate and there is a growing rate of cybercrime in Nigeria. Looking at this further, you find out that there is a disconnect, especially in the fact that most youths want to make it, and the economy doesn't make it easy for them. So they are always desperate in wanting to make money, and when they get better, what they perceive to be better ways or faster means of making money, they end up going into that. As I earlier said, unemployment. Having in mind that when you graduate from school after the rigorous forms of studies, going for lectures and all that, you come out without getting a good means of livelihood, a good job to do and get well paid. You definitely, as an individual who wants to make money, who wants to make a name for him or herself, would want to go the shorter way, which is faster. We have a law system that is not, I would say, is weak, because most times the prosecution is not, or let's say the sentence is not on the same level as the offenses which have been committed. Say an individual extorts money. Here in Nigeria, you commit a cybercrime and you extort money from a victim, which is rating to about $1,000. And after prosecution, you're supposed to pay maybe $10 as an individual. You to look into it, you would definitely be tempted or would want to go into that means of making money. We have peer pressure. We relate and interact with different people. And most youths, mentally, let me say, are not on that level of seeing or accepting that some persons are supposed to be better than others. Look at your 5 fingers. They are not all equal. But most youths wouldn't want to accept that fact. Looking at the peer pressure level, we have the social media influence, especially from social media influencers. A lot of social media influencers end up showing the lavish lifestyles, using gadgets or living wealthy, which they have gotten this money through means of social crime. Take, for instance, the case of Hush Puppy. Even while he was in the process of being prosecuted, he will still come online, show you what he has gotten from his means, from his fraudulent cybercrime means. And with that, most Nigerian youth who have digital access, exposed to different platforms, would definitely want to go into such means, because all they see is not what is at the back end, the defamation that comes to their names or their family, but they just see the good side of it. For the government, for us individuals, to be able to curb this, I would suggest and I would advise that the legal enforcement should be, the capabilities should be effective. That is, they should get more individuals who are experts in this field to be able to enhance the prosecution, especially when it comes to investigations. There should be awareness. Nigerian students, Nigerian youths should be aware of the fact that there is a cybercrime that prosecutes, there's a cyber law that prosecutes cybercrime, and they should be encouraged to try to do things the legal way instead of going through the short means, which is maybe a quick means of making success, but in the long run, it causes defamation, not just to the individuals, but their families. And with awareness, these individuals, these students, these youth will be able to pick a better option instead of going through the shorter means. Thank you.
Thank you, and my apologies. I've literally had to railroad you out of it, but thank you so much. I feel very bad that we've kept you longer than we promised to, but I feel thankful that I think we're also at the point where we should be rounding things off. I would want to please crave your indulgence to let me take on the last task, as I request your kind attention as I invite the chairman of the planning committee for this event. Kindly help me welcome Mr. Mohammed Danjuma as he delivers the closing remarks.
Thank you very much, MC, and good afternoon, everyone. And like he rightly said, it's been a very long day. Lots of speeches and a lot of intellectual information to digest. And for those of us that have been able to manage to stay through to the end, I want to say a very, very special thank you to you. And please let's give ourselves a round of applause. So I will like to thank all of our dignitaries in absentia that took time to come and participate with us and launch this very, very important book, as well as those that were not able to come, but send in their goodwill messages, and also for those that tried to even attend online, because we had an option for people to attend online. We want to also extend thanks to them. And of course, for the rest of my colleagues in the planning of this event, and our staff from Digital Footprints Nigeria Limited, please, a thumbs up to all of you, and thank you, everyone. And I want to wish all of us safe journey back home, not only physically, but also cyber and digitally. So I want to, on behalf of the authors, really convey our heartfelt appreciation for participating in this event. It's just the beginning, as you've heard, and I believe we will have a lot more opportunities and platforms like this to discuss even more. The conversation is just beginning. I wanted to take the shortcut, but I had to say a thing or two, because I was at an event when somebody was called to come and give the vote of thanks. When he came onto the stage and looked at everybody, he didn't see anybody. He just went down and started saying,
Thank you and God bless. Have a safe journey back.